Hello, good evening, and welcome once more as we prepare to venture forth into the world of Bulldogz Dead Air. With me, as ever, are my trusty compatriots on this dangerous journey, Claire.
Hello, everybody.
And Ben.
Happy Easter. Merry Easter. What do you say at Easter?
Happy.
Congratulations on not being
Congrats
sacrificed.
Easter.
Yeah. What do you say at Easter? We did say Happy Easter. Happy Easter, yeah?
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Happy Resurrection Day.
No, well, she's gone straight to the chase, hasn't she?
Yeah.
This episode, we will be talking about the impossibility of resurrection and how that fits into a zombie apocalypse.
Chocolate eggs.
Chocolate egg. Yeah, what do chocolate eggs have to do with it? We're going to answer all of these questions today. All of these questions will be answered. So, Claire, how was your Easter? What did you get up to?
My Easter was great because I very successfully avoided all things related to Easter. It was lovely.
Congratulations. Merry Easter. Happy Easter.
You successfully avoided all things related to Easter.
Yes.
What does that mean in the sense that you didn't smell any incense?
I didn't smell any incense.
You didn't eat any chocolate?
I
Actually,
find that hard to believe.
No, I didn't. I had chocolate cake on Sunday, but that was just chocolate cake. That wasn't because it was Easter. And I had my Easter eggs
That
like
was
in
just
the
your-
beginning of March.
Your normal
You
weekend
what?
cake.
You had your Easter eggs at the beginning of March?
Because I went home at the beginning of March and my mum gave me like mini eggs and cream eggs and I ate them all.
Well,
at the
hang on.
beginning of March. So
Hang on just a minute. Mini eggs and cream eggs do not suffice as Easter eggs.
I didn't get any Easter eggs then.
I used to get very small Easter eggs. Well, the size of the egg that I received at Easter depended on how good I'd been. Let's talk about
you got
our
mini eggs then?
personal Easters. I'll start, shall I? So, my Easter celebration went a little bit like this. My parents would use it as an opportunity to make me work for them. As always, they saw an opportunity to get me to mow the lawn. So I'd mow the lawn on the Easter weekend, and then I'd make a nest in the garden out of the cut grass. And the next day, I would go out into the garden, and there'd be an Easter egg in the nest. Obviously, that had been left by the Easter bunny because he lays chocolate eggs. That's how it works.
I'm slightly alarmed by this, Ben. After you previously fronting accusations at me that I live in a Dickensian novel, suddenly it's emerging that maybe your childhood was more one of employment
Abused,
brutality.
disturbed. Yeah.
You're
No,
forced
yeah,
into work and employment without your consent.
Yeah, well, that's true. And I had to mow the lawn, but I got a chocolate egg out of it. The point is that the chocolate egg would either be very big if I'd been good, or a tiny little, those really pathetic tiny eggs that aren't really worth giving to anyone. You give them to your enemies. It's like an insult. It's like an insignificant amount of chocolate.
Claire, what are your memories, your reminiscence of childhood Easter?
Well, my family weren't proponents of child labour like Ben's, so we were just
Are
given.
you from Scotland?
I'm from Scotland, we were kind of just given our eggs.
There's no fun in
They
that.
were
But
thrown
we
at
used to we did used to decorate boiled eggs, paint them,
Yep.
decorate them. My sister and I.
At school or at home?
Well, both. We always did it at home, but we tended to do it at school as well. It was one of those typical activities. And then we go to the park and roll them down the hill.
Egg rolling, fantastic.
rolling,
Yeah, we
yeah.
used to do that as well. I enjoyed that. Did you do
Excellent.
egg rolling in wherever it was that you grew up?
When my dad actually put together epic treasure hunts. And I remember them very vividly because he would colour code the clues, the envelopes. It wasn't with names. It was with the colour of your toothbrush. I remember this, and we had like an Easter egg hunt. Easter egg hunt, where it was basically with clues around the house. and he would construct all of these clues for all the kids, and one by one we'd have to go and find these clues, and at result at the end we had like an Easter egg as your
I
ultimate
see
prize.
what's happening here. So you're busy for like 4 hours. Your mum and dad go down the pub and have a few drinks.
My mum doesn't really do the pub, and my dad doesn't drink, so it's not how it works. Ben, this is not how it works. You know, you have a quiz master.
I just
gotta
assumed
maintain it all.
everyone
I
had
mean,
the
there
same
were-
level of abuse in their childhood.
There were moments, obviously, when you were out and about doing your hunt for your clue, you would find other people's clues, and me and my brother, it wasn't unknown for us to move brothers and sisters' clues.
Foul play.
Yeah, foul play. Foul play was a big
Typical
part of
oldest
childhood.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, and obviously church played a part in our Easter celebrations, it being about Jesus and all.
I thought it was about chocolate.
Ben, you have some information for us, don't you? You have been studiously researching Easter.
Easter is celebrated very differently in different parts of Europe, but certainly in England, it's a pagan and a Christian combo.
A combination is true, isn't it? The egg thing comes from fertility, and I know that's a Roman goddess thing. They used to give painted eggs to the people they wanted to have babies with.
Egg decorating is called pisanka, and if I've not pronounced that correctly, then whatever. Write me an email, send me a letter, post me some hate.
What pisanka? Pisanka as
it's
is it from Greek?
Ukrainian.
Oh, Ukrainian. Okay.
It comes from
Okay.
the Ukraine. The practice of decorating eggs, of painting them, but they paint really, really detailed, ornate scenes. It's not like the bland, boring, oh, I've painted my egg blue kind of thing that we do at school. It's like, well done, Johnny, have a star, can put it on the chart. I never got any stars either at school. I'm not going to use this podcast as a therapy session. Let's move on. So the name of Easter comes from Oestre, or Iastre, or Ostara, which is the goddess of spring.
It's fertility, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, she's a pagan goddess. But there's
Can we
versions
just
of
2
her.
seconds? Just 2 seconds. Recently, in conversation with Ben, because we have interesting conversations,
All
Ben
the
has been
time.
making reference to this word pagan, and I want to just quickly clarify what pagan means. Pagan is an umbrella term given by Christian society to all religions that come before them, and so we have this idea that pagan means before Christ, before the Jewish faith, there was just this big religion called paganism. And there's very, very, very many different religions, and most of them are multi-theist, I think is the phrase. They have many gods.
Yeah.
Pantheist. Pantheist is the word, isn't it?
And well, the common element is that they predominantly worshipped nature. And
Yeah, all
the
gods have a
sun,
natural
the moon, the
role.
stars,
Exactly, yeah.
and well, the animal kingdom, which is why a lot of the symbols are animals, or there are animals involved, which is where the Easter Bunny comes from. It was related to what's her name again?
Fertility.
Oestre. She was a Saxon goddess.
A Saxon goddess.
Saxon goddess, yes.
Okay.
And let me just remember the things that I learnt about her. Yes, she represents fertility, and
surprise.
the change of the season is from the cold, harsh winter to the fruitful spring, when all the plants and flowers start growing.
Which is ironic, really, because that's what the Christian celebration is all about.
Yes.
Renewal and rebirth, coming back from the dead. It's all very tidy, isn't it? Interestingly, this week, a little bit different. This month, sorry, a little bit different. We have a piece here from the mean streets of Zaragoza, asking some people about their Easter traditions in Spain. Roll the tape.
There's not that many Easter traditions, and not in my family, but my church does a thing every year that we normally attend, is that they do a recreation of the Passover dinner on Good Thursday.
Well, my Easter traditions are as typical here. We are on holidays on that day, so we go home and we spend our time with our family, our friends. We go out. There are plenty of processions, and well, old people or not so only old people go to church because it's typical here for the fourth day of Easter, and some people play drums or and they carry the Virgin, so that's typical here.
My family Easter tradition are, for example, went to watch processions and prepare torrijas.
That was the lovely Carmen, Marta, and Elena giving us some information about their Spanish family Easter traditions, which tend to revolve around
Hitting
processions.
things, drums.
Now, it is time on the Bulldog podcast for us to cast our geary eye over the Easter traditions of Zaragoza. We could spend several minutes talking about
The Ku Klux Klan.
thank you, Ben. Talk about the cofradillas and the similarity they have to a well-known brand of white supremacists.
Yeah.
But everyone knows that. Let's talk about the drumming instead. It's a feature of Easter. It's a feature of Easter across Spain. What does it represent?
I heard from one of my students that the drumming represents the thunder and the anger and the wrath of God after his representative on earth had been nailed to a piece of wood.
You make Jesus sound like some sort of sales rep.
Yeah, he come down here to sell all those Bibles.
Didn't go too well, did it? It's quite a drastic response. Most people put up a sign saying, you know, no pamphlets in this letterbox. Beware of the
soliciting.
dog. Yeah, no soliciting. And well, he got nailed to a piece of wood. A bit unfair.
He didn't do it again.
Claire, have you heard? That
He tried.
he's going to come back at some point. Apparently, that's the deal. He comes back again, and you know, then at that point we have to all look really busy. Claire, is this the understanding you have about the drumming?
I've never heard any explanation of why they do it, actually.
No, you haven't.
No?
Ben, what I've heard is the same as Ben. Basically, it represents the thunderstorm at the point that Jesus dies on the cross on the Friday. And I have a theory about this. Because
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for, so please tune in next week. Go on, give us your theory.
the cofradillas, they spend most weekends from January practicing this drumming.
Yeah.
Was it, Ben, you were telling me there are 26 different songs that they play? There's actually
27.
27, beg your pardon. There's 27 different songs that they play. And
Probably.
there's a large contingent of the Spanish population who practice this. It is a very religious experience. You know, they concentrate on this event and they
And you
prepare
get a
for it
day off school.
if you are at
If you're at school.
Yeah. And I believe what's happening is a big proportion of the Spanish population is spending 3 months thinking about a thunderstorm. And then what happens?
They make it rain.
They make it rain. It's a rain dance. It's a rain dance. You know, universe, God, deity, existence, reality, creation, whatever you want to call him. Cliff, as he's better known to us English people. Simply, you know, as Easter comes, he brings the rain. Because the Spanish people have been asking for the rain.
For months and
For months and months and
months.
months. And then you have these pictures of people in Sevilla. Oh, the Macarena can't come out this year because it's raining. You know,
Macarena.
God's probably
They wrote
going,
that song about
what,
that, didn't they?
What
Well,
are you cross about? That's what you wanted.
They do say La lluvia en Sevilla es pura maravilla. So
Exactly. And that's the thing. The interesting thing about Easter is it's to the moon calendar. It's never at the same time each year in the calendar as such. It's on the moon calendar, so it moves around, yet it still always rains at Easter. the Spanish people do not have any understanding of the true power that they have.
I think I would agree. I'd say that is an example of this can be seen in England. The second your dad says, right, let's have a barbecue, and goes into the garage and dusts off the barbecue, and you walk outside and it's chucking it down. But you have a barbecue
Some
anyway, don't
excellent
you?
vocabulary there.
You have a barbecue anyway. In
What-
England, you just get a brolly out. You
Well,
must have had a
Hold it over
barbecue
the
under an
barbecue,
umbrella.
yeah.
Well, this is interesting. It's interesting because I don't think it works. that
Rain's
way.
not going to stop us.
I don't think it works that way around, Ben. I think simply if my dad's anything like your dad, once the month begins with a J, it doesn't matter what the weather is.
January.
Good point, well made. Once the month begins with a J and a U, an A and a U, it doesn't matter what the weather's like. We're eating outside. We're eating al fresco, al dente. We're eating outside because it's summer, isn't it? Even if it is sub-zero temperatures and raining, or one of those epic brown scale vision thunderstorms that come through. No, we're eating outside. It's the summer.
Absolutely.
That's what we do. Anyone want ice cream? Can I have a jacket?
I remember the summers in England. Do you remember the summers in England? They lasted about 24 hours.
Well, there's always that joke, because I went to university in Glasgow. There's always that joke. I remember summer. It was between 4:15 and 6 o'clock on the 23rd of July, 1995.
You two are from the south, so you might get a summer that lasts 24 hours. In Glasgow, it's about 24 minutes.
When
If we're
when the sun
lucky.
comes out in Glasgow, everyone runs to Kelvin Grove
Cats
Park,
have.
and there's like a couple of guys with ice cream vans going, "This is our time," and that's
It's
it.
like Braveheart, but with ice cream.
No, people in Glasgow eat ice cream all year. They don't really care that it's cold.
They don't really
They deep fry
buy
it
ice
first,
cream.
You can
He's
get
right.
deep fried ice cream, can't you? I think you can. If you
Um,
can't, then there's definitely a Bulldogz announcement to be
Well, you
made
get
in the next.
Baked
podcast.
Alaska, but that's not.
Which
that's
is a
not
Spanish celebrity in the sun.
yes.
So yes, how do we? I mean, we've all been here for a while now, so we're used
Too
to
long,
the coffee
too
of the marches. For me, for example, often around festival periods in Zaragoza, the key is to make sure that you've done your shopping before the shops close. Yeah, we've
Yep.
all been there, and B, that you need to know where these processions are going, because the worst thing in the world is to be trapped inside the procession cycle.
I got trapped in a square of processions once. I was just in the middle. There was a procession going in either direction in a square around me, and I had no choice but to get totally drunk in a bar because I couldn't escape, and I resent that.
What with the fact that you
If-
had a lack of choice?
If I were to describe Easter in Zaragoza in 2 words, it would be beautiful and inconvenient.
Claire, how would you describe Easter in Zaragoza?
I think the word that comes to mind really is noisy.
That's a good one. That's a good
Noisy.
adjective to use.
Living
You're halfway
reasonably
through.
close to the city centre, reasonably close to Plaza de Justicia, where the
The action,
cofrades,
the action kicks in.
Yeah.
start. Yeah, noisy.
I would describe Easter in Zaragoza as dignified and
Mesmerising.
familial.
Hmm.
It's all about family. Once
Yeah.
again in Spain, I do
And
apologise.
gambas.
I do. Yes, thank you. The gambas have reared their ugly head once more, because that's what they do. Look,
Torrijas.
now Torrijas.
Torrijas.
Finally, we have reached. I mean, Roscon's all right. Roscon's okay, but you're basically balancing it up against Christmas pudding, and Roscon doesn't win that fight. But Torrijas, now this is a Spanish food tradition I can more than happily get behind.
Yeah.
Elena mentioned it earlier on. It's basically bread soaked in milk, and then basically
Cinnamon.
fried in egg, and then covered in sugar and cinnamon. Is it, it's a good word in Spanish. Cannella is a good word. And this is a food tradition I can happily get behind. Although this week, Ben and myself, we were introduced to the concept of, what was it? Mono de Pascua?
Oh,
Yes, monkey.
yes.
Easter monkey.
Easter monkey. And this is just a.
No, is it not an Easter bun? Mono is a bun. It's because of the shape.
Oh, she
Yeah.
suddenly explained the
Yes.
confusion in the
That one
translation.
But
being,
it's like a
It's an
giant
Easter bun. Claire
cake.
has literally just
Yeah.
done a hair
This is a
Pantene
mono.
Pro V impression in the studio. She has released her hair,
Released her
let it
follicles.
fall down,
put it up in a bun.
cascading, and then put it straight back up in a bun.
Because in
I'm going to do
Spanish,
the same with mine. in a
you can
moment.
say estoy hasta el moño, or mono. Is it mono or moño? Maybe it's moño. Anyway, I
Oh,
think
suddenly
it's
Claire's
the
reached an
shape.
uncertainty in
Yeah.
her Spanish there. What is this? It's Easter monkey.
I might be wrong
Ben.
there.
Easter monkey.
Easter monkey is like the Easter rabbit. He comes into your home while you're sleeping during the Easter season, and he sits on your head. And when you wake up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you got really bad breath. That's the Easter monkey's been messing with you, basically,
I
and it
thought-
only happens during Easter.
I thought he just ruffled your hair. That's what bed
It
hair
makes
was.
your hair look incredibly bad, and he usually steals a few euros out of your wallet as well.
Okay.
Okay. So I saw these.
Or it could be a cake.
No, I saw these monos
It's
in
one of those two things.
in one of the bakeries, and is it an actual egg that's on top? It looks like a boiled egg. Is that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
I
I think
don't
you can
know.
get savoury or sweet versions.
I saw some very, very impressive tapas that were made to look like the procession Stations of the Cross depictions.
Really?
There was tapas with a
Little
fried egg. Or no, there were no gambas
Gambas
involved.
nailed to a
There was
cross.
some potato, a
Sick.
fried egg, and then 4 sort of cocktail sticks holding up like a canopy of jamon, and then a piece of bacon or jamon that sort of looked a bit like Mary with her cloak open, and it was very impressive.
That's brilliant. I'd
It's
feel
very
bad about
impressive.
eating it for a moment.
Yeah, just a moment, no, eh? So what have we learnt about the difference between our Easter traditions? First of all, I don't see much Easter egg action here in Spain.
No.
In England, I think we've been heavily commercialised, and now it's just chocolate.
Well, this is it. We talked about Lent, and Lent is the 40 days sacrifice before Easter. And what we tend to do in Britain is what women tend to do is give up chocolate for 40 days and then eat lots of
Gorge.
chocolate. I've got a chocolate
Gorge on
binge. Yeah,
chocolate.
gorge on chocolate.
Eat all of the chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the thing with the egg is, like you were saying before, the egg was a pagan symbol of fertility, but the Christian church or Catholic church, I'm not sure which, kind of appropriated it and used it as a symbol
Absolutely.
of the rock
Absolutely.
in front of the tomb.
But this is
That's why we do the egg rolling.
precisely this is what happens with the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church throughout history appropriates festivals and celebrations and symbols.
For example,
Go on.
hot cross buns.
Now,
Hot cross buns.
1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns.
buns. If you have
Close
no
competitor
daughters,
for torrijas. Give them to your sons.
1 a penny,
I
2
actually,
a penny.
I'm going to
hot
say
cross
this. I'm going to
buns.
say this. Torrijas are actually probably nicer than hot cross
Better.
buns. Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But I still love them.
Oh, I love hot cross buns. How
Hot-
like a sweet bread, aren't they? Basically.
Hot cross buns are. Well, Claire, you tried to make some recently, but
I'm
I understand it came out
too
a little
bready,
bit strange.
less like a bun.
Too
but they
much
taste-
dough.
Too much dough, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it's
So what you
kind
made
of a
was just bread
spiced
then, just
sweet
bread.
bread with sultanas.
Yeah, it's got like little sultanas or lemon rind and little bits
Yeah,
like that.
orange
frutos
rind.
secos.
Yeah.
Yeah, all thrown in,
It
thrown into
is
the mix.
amazeballs. There's nothing better than a hot cross bun with some butter. And
A toasted hot cross bun.
I think a hot cross bun is a perfect definition of how easy English is, because it's a literal, like most things, it's a literal description. It's a bun, which is a type of bread, a round piece of bread. You eat it hot, and it's got a cross on it. It's a hot cross bun.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to English.
Exactly.
Easy.
Exactly. No, but
no monos de Pascua.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
this Easter monkey rubbish? There's no monkey involved. So it's a hot
Just
cross
a
bun.
straight adjective chain
Yeah.
of description,
And
noun, action.
Let's talk about the history of it.
So yeah,
there.
tell us about hot cross buns, Ben.
Hot cross buns were again
This isn't angry boobs.
is a pagan ritual when the Christians came over to England, and they said, "Look, Gandalf, stop worshipping nature and all of this rubbish, we've got this much better idea going on, and it's great. And they were like, no, not really interested in that. At the time, the pagan women were making these delicious little buns, and they kept offering them to their gods. And the Christians got together and they had a meeting. It sounded like this. I don't know. What do you think? So at the end of that meeting, they decided that instead of stopping the pagans from making their delicious little hot breads, they were going to use a form of marketing and just put a cross on top of it. So when the pagans ate the buns, they'd be eating the symbol of Christianity.
Well, okay. Claire, I do believe you have a question for us.
Yes.
Yes.
So, one of my, I know you said it's not a real Easter egg, but one of my favourite things to eat at Easter is a cream egg.
A Cadbury's cream egg.
Cadbury. I love
Other
Cadbury's cream eggs.
types of chocolate confectionery are available.
So, you know, on the internet, like for the last couple of years, people have been doing crazy challenges.
Yep.
Like stupid things like the
For example?
ice bucket challenge, or
Ridiculous.
the
Yeah,
people who are doing
ridiculous.
planking challenges,
Oh,
like all over the
ridiculous.
place.
Oh,
Or
Planking.
stupid stuff. Yeah, planking.
Bunch of plankers.
Yeah.
there's a bunch of people who tried to down liters of alcohol and all sorts of things.
No, that was me and Ben.
Yeah, I know you participated.
That was just Friday night. It wasn't even a challenge.
So there's another one which is called the cream egg challenge.
Was it basically involve somebody going, how do you do it?
No, I forgot about that. Yeah. Basically, they had to try and eat 50 cream eggs and see how
What?
quickly
Oh,
they
this
could
is
do
what
it.
Cool Hand Luke.
Whoa. Hang on, what?
This comes from
what?
Cool Hand
What?
Luke,
What?
right?
Yeah.
What?
Cool Hand Luke.
Go on.
One of the greatest films ever made.
I haven't seen it.
Have you
Neither
got?
have
Do you know
I,
the
but
information?
I'd heard about this
I'll let
film.
you go
but
on
no.
then. It's great.
No, I have no information about the film. I just have information about the crazy people who've been doing the challenge. So
I'm a bit bemused. because I thought Cool Hand Luke was an American film,
Yeah.
and I thought Cadbury's cream eggs were a uniquely British thing.
actually, they're sold globally.
No
Yeah.
way.
Americans like their Cadbury's cream eggs.
I mean, we're basically talking like a milk chocolate egg filled with a fondant centre. Yeah, it's gloopy. It's gloopy.
How do you
chocolate.
eat yours?
With enjoyment. I don't actually have any particular way of eating a cream egg. I just enjoy eating a cream egg. I love that moment eating a cream egg when you feel the cavity forming in your teeth
Yeah.
before you swallow. A cream egg is a luxury of life. It's the pinnacle of Western society. Let's be honest.
I think
You know, never mind the internet. Never mind the cure for cancer. Cadbury's cream egg is where it's at.
We've peaked.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, I'm afraid. Which is good because the cream egg can roll down.
Exactly.
Okay,
Please
so
go on,
Come
Claire.
back to the question.
challenge.
So, this
50 cream
50.
eggs.
So
That's insane.
there have been several people trying to do this, and the record at the moment for eating cream eggs, 50 cream eggs, was set by an American woman from Las Vegas. She's called Mickey Sudo.
Is she quite fat?
No, she's not. She's smaller than me.
Oh my-
I actually watched the video of this, and she's tiny.
Oh, okay. Therefore, we're going to have to put a link to this video in the
Click on the
comment
link.
section.
Yeah.
Click on the link to have a look at this video because me and Ben are going to watch it and go, "Oh my god, she's
I-
actually quite
I
pretty."
expected her to be like this, you know, the stereotypical enormous
Yeah,
American.
man.
No.
Las Vegas, cream egg record eater. How quickly did she? I dread to think. This is the question. You're coming to the question, aren't
Coming
you?
to the question.
How
So,
quickly did she
How
eat 50
quickly does
cream
she eat
eggs?
50? So I'll give you 3 options.
Goodness me.
5 minutes and 30 seconds, 6 minutes and 15 seconds, or 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So the previous guy who made this video did it in 14 minutes and something. She did it much quicker. She's a professional competitive eater, which I didn't know existed, so this is interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
does exist. That's the thing. That's the thing.
5 minutes
Yeah.
and 30 seconds, 6 minutes and 15, or 8 minutes and 10.
Ansel, I'm going to go for 6:15.
Well, did she set this record this year?
I think the link from the video, I think it was from 2014.
Did it cause a stir in the competitive eating world?
Probably.
I mean, I haven't heard about it.
Nothing has changed.
I'm quite a competitive eater. I'm going to go. I think she probably smashed the record out of the park. I reckon it's probably the first dance. I think it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
She probably has this one of those kind of expandable gullets, and she probably doesn't chew it. She just, just swallows them whole. We have to announce the winner of the competition. It was quite tough this month. Beg your pardon. Had some interesting entries. In the end, we decided on awarding this month's voucher
Drum
to
roll.
Carmen Orduz.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Carmen. Yes. There are more than 3 people who listen to this program. It's
Yeah.
astonishing.
No way.
Yeah.
Not at
Even
the same
more.
time.
There's more than 3 people who submit written work to us for the competition.
You mean there's 3 people other than the people we forced to listen to it?
No,
Our partners.
there's 3 people more than us. Because I know I listen to this
I
program.
listen to it all the time. yeah. On my pod.
So there you go. That is the end for this month. Bit of a rambling Easter procession that it was. I'm hoping the drums were in time. I'm hoping that your back isn't too scarred from the cat and nine tails whipping that you have been giving yourselves. Until next month, where we will invariably be discussing some other tradition. What are we discussing next month?
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy. Is
That's what we
that
said last
that's
month.
exactly? Why would we be doing that twice? We rejected the option at the last editorial meeting.
One day.
What are we talking about next month? Do we know?
No.
Excellent,
Let's just surprise
excellent. It's
people.
going to be a surprise.
Yay. We're talking
Hey.
about surprises, I think.
We can talk about surprises, yeah. I'm glad that this month we haven't really mentioned New Year's resolutions because they haven't been going so well. But we're in March, so what do you expect? Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, bye.